Our first speaker is a certified holistic health coach, an inspirational speaker, and a natural wellness advisor. I have no idea what all that means. I can't wait to find out. Yeah. She helps people uncover the root cause through genetic testing and provided them their DNA blueprint for better health. Since 2005, she's helped hundreds of people find the answers they've been looking for to have better health. Through her teachings, she brings clarity and understanding to those who want a healthier, more natural life with simple changes that make a big difference. Empowering you with answers is what she's all about, giving everyone the power to live life to its fullest. She's the past district director from District 100, the current chair of the District 100 Speakers Bureau, and it is my pleasure to introduce the speaker presenting on Your Genetic Loads the Gun, Your Lifestyle Pulls the Trigger. Welcome, Judie Bicknell.
Thank you, Michael. Woo woo. Oh yeah. Michael, this is not over your head. This is right inside of you. It's your genetics. We'll get you all cued in, and hopefully by the end of this talk, you're going to find out something really amazing, either about yourself or what you can find out about yourself, because that's what it's all about. Tonight, it's all about you. Why? Because you're the most important person in the room. Without your health, you have nothing else to go forward with. You can be the leader of a great IT company. You can be the leader of a nation. You can be a parent with 5 kids. You could be anything you want to be. But if your health doesn't allow you to continue to live that dream, then why are you dreaming the dream? So tonight I'm going to share with you a little bit about your genetics and why it loads the gun, but you don't have to live what you were dealt with. There are ways to make it better. And that, I hope, will be an enlightening part for you. Now, you may be sitting there going, who is this woman and what gives her the authority, the knowledge to be able to talk about genetics? Is she a PhD? Is she a scientist? No. I am someone who's done more than 20 years of research, though, in the field of making myself healthier. And you may say, well, we all can do that. But we all live different journeys. So let me share with you a little bit about mine, and then you'll understand why I have more information than I can carry around in this, yes, little head, Michael. All right. So way back when I was young and really burning the candle at both ends, I was an amazing mortgage banker. I worked 24/7. I helped people live their dream of owning a home. It was fabulous. But I was burning the candle at both ends, working out every day, running like a crazy woman, being the top producer in my company. I had it all. All of a sudden, one day, though, I got the knock on the door that said, hey, you're not doing so good. You got the flu. Okay, well, let's go to the doctor and see if I can get better. Doctor says, yeah, you'll get better. Just go home, rest, take lots of liquids. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. Well, guess what? It didn't get better. Unfortunately, it turned into bronchitis. He said, oh, well, that we can treat. Here's a bunch of pills. Try this, try that. Okay. So then I started taking all these pills and all these different things. Guess what? It didn't get better. I was like, okay, I'm young. I'm vibrant, I exercise, I do all the right things. Something is going on here. Now, I was very fortunate to have a very open-minded doctor back then. Knock on wood, not all the doctors are that way today, who was willing to go the extra mile. He said, okay, let's run some tests. Tests? I don't know about you guys, but that's always the magic word for we're not sure, but we're going to see if we can figure it out. So they ran a whole slew of tests, and then you had to wait. You had to wait for the results. I don't know about you, but when I'm waiting for results on me, I get a little anxious and a little edgy. And of course, back then, we were all really concerned about, the big C word. And the hot ticket at that time was HIV and a lot of other illnesses that were going around. So we were really concerned. Got my test results back, got into his office. He sat me down. He says, don't worry, it wasn't those. It's none of those things. And I was like, thank goodness. I said, do you know what it is? He's all like, yep, I got it. I said, great, doc, give me a magic pill or, prescription or a shot or something. I got to get back to work. I mean, I'm missing out. He said, oh, honey, it's not going to be quite that easy. And I said, why is that? He says, well, you've got this thing called fibromyalgia. Now, nowadays, we all know what that is because we hear it a lot. It gets thrown around a lot. But way back 20 plus years ago, that was not a word that a lot of people knew about. So my first thing was, well, there's got to be something you can give me, right? No, there wasn't. They weren't sure why it was, how it came about, or anything. Well, come to find out, it has to do with your body detoxifying. Now, how do I know this? Well, for the next 12 years, I spent my life dedicated to finding an answer, a solution. I wanted my health back. I wanted to live a full, healthy life. So I went down the rabbit hole. I chased every magic pill, every magic juice. I did every treatment imaginable. I hung upside down. I got IVs. I got injection therapy. I got those funny little bugs they stick on your body and then peel them off. Oh my God, that was gross. I've even did some things that we won't even talk about, and some things nobody should ever try. But I was bound and determined to find an answer. Well, as things progressed, I did find some of the answers. And I found things that would make me better, make me stronger, and remove some of my issues. Now let's talk a little bit about genetics. We all have our own personal genetic code. Overall, we're 99.9% identical, except for that one little percent in our DNA that makes us all unique. The part that says you're going to have blonde hair, blue eyes, no hair, or maybe you're going to go gray early, or you're going to have high blood pressure, or maybe you have that gene that says I'm prone to get Alzheimer's. Those things are all in your genetic code, and you're born with it. Now, this is where the tricky part comes in. Those things load the gun, but the way you live your life will determine whether or not those genes actually flare up and come to life. So you don't have to live with the hand that you're dealt. About 5 years ago, I ran into a friend of mine who said, hey, I've got a great friend who's bought the science and technology to this major tech company. And he's also bought all the research on the Genome Project and on epigenetics. Now, epigenetics means you can do things in your lifestyle to turn some of those, I'm going to call them broken genes for the lack of a better word. Let's just say those broken genes that are not the ones that you wanted to have, on and off. For instance, let's say you got the gene that says you're prone to blood pressure issues. And you've noticed as you've matured, your blood pressure is going up. And now you have to take a drug to push it down. Did you know that blood pressure is nothing more than a symptom? It's not a condition, it's just a symptom. It's that little trigger in your genetic code that just flicked and said, we can no longer process healthy blood pressure. So now it's out of control. What if you were able to take some basic supplements, some basic food, or even change some practical things in your lifestyle, and that little piece of genetic code were to go bloop and turn off? Your blood pressure would fall into alignment, and it would no longer be an issue. You have to look at a lot of your symptoms, illnesses, problems, dis-ease from a source of issues or symptoms, not really the problem. Things like diabetes, or even heart disease, or inflammation, fibromyalgia. These are all just symptoms of your body malfunctioning because of the break in the genetic code. Now, you may be sitting there saying, okay, well, I have high blood pressure and I take medication and it's all under control. Great. Think of your body here for a minute like a car. I'm going to assume that everybody's driven a car once or twice, maybe in their lifetime, hopefully. You have all those lights on your dashboard. You ever see when the check engine light comes on and it's flashing there? That's your car warning you that something is not functioning right. Now, like some of us, we may take a piece of sticky tape and stick it over there so it doesn't bug us while we're driving. Or like there were some of my blonde friends that would always say, well, I checked the engine. It's running. We're good to go. Let's keep going. What happens if we ignore that light or we just cover it up? Eventually, your car breaks down. Well, this works the same way with your body. If you get migraine headaches, that's a check engine light. If you have high blood pressure, that's a check engine light. If you have, oh, I feel my age. I can't get up in the morning. I'm so stiff. I can hardly move. That is a check engine light. The other day I went to the orthopedic surgeon because I have a torn meniscus. And I told the doctor, I said, I'm having issues. I think I might need the microsurgery now because it's not getting better and I'm really struggling. He looked at me, and these are the words that will cause any doctor's immediate demise in my eyes. At your age, honey, that's called arthritis. I looked at him and I said, you did not just say that. And he said, well, it's true. I said, first of all, at my age, I should be doing the tango on the Ritz in Monte Carlo. And no, it's not arthritis. So I got up and excused myself. I had to teach myself, go back and think, okay, this is a check engine light. This is a symptom. Where in my body am I malfunctioning? So very simply, you can take a really quick and easy genetic test. They do it by a simple cheek swab. So it's actually kind of fun because we sing the ABCs while you do it. We send it into a CLIA certified, HIPAA compliant, which means no, we don't sell your information out on the black web, and we don't give it to Pfizer and all those other companies to create some new drug with. We keep it private because by law, we're required to. And then we can print out a genetic report. Now, what does that genetic report tell you? Well, basically, it tells you 18 actionable genes in your body. Everything from brain function to heart and respiratory function, to your digestive system, to your inflammation, and how your body will process things. And of these 18 actionable genes, the reason they call them actionable is because you can actually do something about them. You can change whether they're lit up like that check engine light, or they're turned off and running smooth like a Maserati or a Ferrari. Wouldn't it be nice to know if you have those lingering in the background? Wouldn't it be nice to be able to say, you know, I'm really not a sports nut. I was doing cardio and exercise and running on a treadmill. My genetic report came back and it told me that's the worst thing I could do for my genes. I toxate them by causing detoxification in my body too fast, and my body can't process it, and it causes a buildup of lactic acid in my muscles. Now, I don't want to get too geeky, sciencey. That's my job. I love that kind of stuff. Basically, what does that mean? It means it makes all my muscles and joints hurt by doing too much cardio. For me, my genetic profile says I'm better off taking a long walk. So now I take long walks on the beach. Guess what? My body gets the exercise it needs, and it's not mad at me at the end of the day. Those types of adjustments are things you can personally do to help your health. Now, what about blood pressure? Okay, so I get this magic DNA test and it says I have blood pressure issues. I already know that. What's it going to do? Well, it can help you understand the formulation of what you need in your body to help support that genetic weakness so that it functions properly. I would tell you that most of my clients are now off of their blood pressure medicine completely with their doctor's supervision. It's amazing the changes just a few little things can do to make you healthier and stronger. Do you know the number 2 cause of deaths in the US is, of course, heart attacks? How do you know you've got heart issues? 2 ways. You're either in the hospital getting a bypass, or you had a heart attack and you're dead. Most people don't see them coming. Wouldn't it be nice to know if you have those genetic markers? And wouldn't it be nice to know if you could actually do something to avoid it, or at least to support your body not to go down that pathway? That's powerful. For me, that's the type of science I want to be with and I want to understand. Now, this is why I search for 20 plus years on different avenues of how to support the body and how to make our health issues disappear. If you don't go down to the root cause of it, and in this case, all the way down to your genetic blueprint, you're just putting band-aids and patches on top of things that eventually either show up somewhere else, or like a tire that you patch the holes in, eventually the whole thing just blows up. Make sure what you're doing for your body is right according to your genetics, according to what your body is asking for. Simple things can make a big difference in your life. I know because I've followed those guidelines and made those changes, and I can see a huge difference. My clients, they see the same thing. Now, I'm not telling you to run out and go get a 23andMe DNA test tomorrow. Most likely, if you do that, they're going to sell your information on the internet, and you're going to know nothing except for a lot of science that you can't put together. But if for some reason you truly do want to know, and you're willing to actually take action with that information, you are more than welcome to reach out to me, and I'll share whatever information I have to help you find your path to living a healthier lifestyle. And if you just want to talk more, my calendar is always open. There's always so many different avenues you can go down. And if you're trying something really unique and unusual, sure, call me and share it with me. I'm the girl everybody runs everything by. If I haven't been there, done that, and have the t-shirt and the jar to prove it, boy, it'll be a first time. But I'd love to share those stories with you, exchange results and ideas to help you find what you're looking for. At the end of the day, make sure that you're living your best life with the best health you can possibly have. And make sure you make every day count, because you can't trade this vessel in. This is the only one we got to move around in. Take care of it, and it'll take care of you. I'm going to put my information in the chat. If you want to reach out to me, please feel free to do so. I'm going to leave you with this. My favorite thing is to always wake up every morning and say, live life to its fullest. I hope you will. Michael?
Thank you, Judie. Hold on. I'm writing that down, of course. That's a good positive affirmation. So Judie's here and willing to take questions. I'm going to ask the first one to get it going. So Judie, we take this test, which costs how much?
You can get the test for as little as $200.
$200. And then you would suggest some, is it supplements we're talking about?
Well, if you take the test and you move forward on it, you can meet with me and I'll review all your things with you. And if you like, yes, the company can create a single supplement to match your genetics. There's over 400 million possible combinations, but they can pull exactly what's needed for your genetics and make one supplement to match your DNA.
A pill this big?
Nah, but it does come in a cute jar with your name on it.
Yeah. So it would be based on your genetic predisposition, is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. What your body needs to support it to function better.
Right. Fascinating. Lois, did you have a question? I thought you kind of raised your hand. No, okay.
No, she was just saying hi because I missed it.
Hi, Judy. It's so good to see you. Let's go build a new club. Okay.
Yep. Oh, there, Judy. Do you have a question?
Yes, I'm the brown Judy.
The other Judy.
Brown one.
I like it.
I would like you to address epigenetics. Epi means on top of genetics. I didn't hear you mention that word.
Well, Judy, epigenetics is fabulous. And this is all part of what I was talking about. Your epigenetics means your genes are loaded in the gun, and what your lifestyle does will either activate them or deactivate them. And things can change according to that. That's part of epigenetics. And that's a whole nother long talk, which Michael didn't give me that long to talk on tonight. But that's what epigenetics is all about. It's the things that you can do in your life to support the weak genes that you have or the genes that you've lit up. Good to go, Mike?
That's good. Other questions for Judie?
I have a
Thanks, Rob.
question. I'm a neurofeedback therapist, and in my work, we do a brain map to evaluate the strength and not so strong areas of the brain and try to balance them out. Has your work ever been done in conjunction with neurofeedback? And has a study ever been done wherein they take 100 or 1,000 people and they get the DNA profile, and then a separate person interviews them about their lifestyle and did they have heart attacks or not? And then we could compare the data, because I hear you saying this DNA can let us know if these things are possible, but that doesn't mean that they will or will not happen. It'd be nice to see an actual comparison study on that. So I guess I had a two-part question there.
No problem, Ron. So yeah, absolutely. This is a great question. So I don't know if you're familiar with BrainTap.
BrainTap is new to me. I don't know why.
Okay, then I'll share it with you if you'd like. I'll send you, if you put your email in the chat. So we've been working with Dr. Peterson for a very long time. He just did the conference in Florida with Dave Asprey. And BrainTap is the mapping of the neural pathways in the brain and helping reset them so that they function correctly. And the genetic testing that we do can show actually some of the genes that we're testing on the certain SNPs, show those people that are in there for that type of treatment have those markers. And so the nutrition that we put behind it that supports it and raises that bar at the same time with the brain tap, the results are remarkable. And as far as the research goes, I can share you that we have over 172 studies.
All right. Well, thank you for the brain tap, and I will send you privately my email address.
Okay.
A common misdiagnosis is ADD and ADHD. And when people say I do or do not have ADD or ADHD, I ask them whether they got their brain scan or brain map or what. Well, I never got a brain map or a scan. They looked it up in the DSM-5. And so I'm hearing people say they've been diagnosed, but no one ever measured their brain. And I'm wondering the same thing here. The correct solution to ADD is neurofeedback. Balance the front of the brain out in some other areas. And I'm wondering how that would, can your DNA profile point out ADD, ADHD type of area, which is a blood flow problem, essentially.
Yes. So Ron, you and I need to get together and have a Zoom chat. I'm sure we can exchange some amazing research, but yes, ADD and ADHD are symptoms, they're diagnoses, they're the red check engine light. They are not the root cause of the problem. And if we go underneath and we find the genetic break or the break in the brain waves, we can recreate and help those people find the root cause. So yeah, we will definitely chat together.
I sense a later talk that now I'm really interested. This kind of talk would be amazing. Neurofeedback and your stuff. Wow, it sounds really
It's
interesting.
fabulous.
I did a speech for the Alameda Tongue Twisters on neurofeedback. I called it "Your Brain Does What You Tell It to Do." Problem is you don't know how to speak brain, so you need some help.
Clearly.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ron. Other questions for Judie? It's a great opportunity here. All right, her information is in the chat. Please call her, and thank you for traveling all the way from District 100. All right.
You got it.
Greg Scott has a question all the way from Clear Lake.
Oh, no.
Yes, this is a tough one. Did you have a good 4th of July?
You know I did. All right, you guys. Thank you for allowing me to speak here tonight. I love sharing this information.
No, we love having you. Thank you, Judie.